Even for a moment, if you don't have the will to devote yourself to what you should do, you are the same as being dead.
Hello everyone, I'm Hoko. This is Essays in Idleness Part-Two. A Buddhist priest Kenko wrote a collection of essays 700 years ago. They cover a wide range of themes. Some of them revealed the aesthetic sensibilities of people and the social conditions of that time. He also wrote many essays on the secrets of living a peaceful life. In this video, I'll introduce 14 essays on these topics. I hope you'll enjoy it.
No matter what your destination may be, traveling for a while can be an eye-opening and refreshing experience. As you walk around, looking here and there in rustic places and mountain villages, you'll find so many new and unfamiliar things. How amusing it is to send letters to those back home in the capital, asking for news and adding reminders not to forget to do this and that. In such places, you are more attentive to all you see. You'll even notice the good quality of the positions you have brought with you. They look better. Anyone you meet with artistic talent and beautiful figures seems more impressive than he would usually. It's also fun to spend quiet days secretly in a temple or shrine somewhere. One morning, after a beautiful fall of snow, I sent a letter to an acquaintance for a favor, but I forgot to mention the snow. Her response was impressive. It said, "Who could accept the request from a person who is neither aesthetic-minded nor refined as not to even inquire of me how I am enjoying the snow? I am disappointed at your insensitive heart." It was her sense of humor. Since she is no longer alive, I treasure even this trifling memory. If the paintings and characters drawn on the standing screens and sliding doors are poor and vulgar, it is not so much that they are unsightly, but rather that I would doubt the aesthetic sense of their owners who display such things without hesitation. In general, the owners' personalities may be considered inferior by what they own. I'm not suggesting that you should have something expensive and splendid. The problem is that they change their belongings into graceless and ugly appearances so as not to damage them, or add unnecessary decorations to make them look unusual. The best items should be those that look antique, never be pretentious, reasonably priced, but of good quality. There are countless examples of things which attach themselves to something else and weaken and damage it. A body has lice, a house has mice, a nation has robbers, an inferior man has wealth. As the same example, a superior man has a strict moral code, a priest has a Buddhist law. Too much attachment hinders free and active mental activities. A man should avoid showing deep acquaintance with any subject. I don't think that the spectacle person speaks in a know-it-all manner, even if he is familiar with the subject. The uneducated person, on the other hand, confidently answers the questions you happen to ask, as if he knows everything. Sometimes he may say something that amazes you, but it is disgraceful to do so in a way that appeals to him that he is great. When it comes to subjects in which you are well versed, it is impressive to keep a heavy mouth and not to speak at all unless asked. In a house where its owner is present, people with no business never enter without permission. However, if the house is vacant, passers-by easily come in. Animals such as foxes and owls invade and settle in, and mysterious things such as tree spirits also get in. Likewise, as a mirror has no color or shape of its own, everything can appear reflected in it. If it had its own color and shape, it will not reflect other things. Empty space accommodates everything. Many thoughts freely enter our minds. Is it because our mind is actually an empty space? If you become the master of your own mind, you will not allow all sorts of miscellaneous thoughts to intrude. One day in early winter, I had occasion to make a visit to a mountain village beyond the place called Kurusuno. As I made my way along the moss-covered path, I came upon a lonely hut. I could hear nothing but the sound of water dripping from a bamboo pipe. On the holy water shelf, sprigs of chrysanthemums and red maple leaves were randomly arranged. Evidently, somebody was living here. I thought, one can live in such a simple way, and I was moved. But the next moment, my mood was spoiled when I noticed a large tangerine tree at the far edge of the garden. Its branches were bent with so many tangerines. The tree was tightly enclosed by a fence. If only the tree had not been there, I thought. There may be certain situations when someone very close to you appears to be acting particularly reserved and polite towards you. Some people may wonder, why does he act this way after all these years? But I feel that his behavior shows sincerity and politeness to his friends. On the other hand, if someone who I am not usually familiar with talked to me frankly on a particular occasion, I also found it fascinating. When people meet, they are never silent for a moment. They'll always talk about something. When you listen to their conversations, most of what they are saying are pointless. Their gossip about society and criticism of other people cause much harm and little good for either party. Moreover, while they are talking, they never seem to realize that they are doing something futile. A man known as a skilled tree climber once instructed someone to climb a tall tree and cut top branches. While the man was working with fear high up in the tree climber watched him without saying a word. When he was coming down and had reached the height of the eaves, the expert called out loudly, "Don't get hurt. Be careful coming down." I was watching from the side and asked him, "Why did you say that? Now he is on such a low place that he can even jump down easily." He responded, "That is a key point. When he fell dizzy at a high place and the branches were in danger of breaking, He himself was very afraid and cautious. I didn't need to say anything. Mistakes always happen when you let your guard down. Although socially he belongs to the lower classes, his words are in tune with the teachings of the sages. In the game of kickball too, they say if you feel relaxed after achieving a difficult kick, you are sure to miss the ball. No one regrets wasting a moment as it passes. Is this due to rational idea or just plain stupidity? To those who are lazy because of stupidity, I would say that each coin is a mere trifle, but by accumulating them, the poor become rich. That's why the merchant is eager to save every coin he can. A moment is so fleeting that we are not even aware of it. But if this moment continues on and on, life will soon come to an end. We should not concern about the distant future. We should feel that this moment is passing in vain. Suppose someone comes to you and informs that your life will end tomorrow. What would you rely on in your heart and do while waiting for this day to end? How is this day we are living now different from our final day? We waste much of each day in eating and drinking, excreting, sleeping, talking and walking. During the short time that remained, we waste time doing worthless activities, talking useless words, and thinking useless things. And not only we pass the moments this way, but whole days and eventually a whole lifetime. What could be more foolish? Even for a moment, if you don't have the will to devote yourself to what you should do, you are the same as being dead. The reason why time is so precious is to stop thinking about trivial things, to get away from worldly affairs, to stop living about life if you wish, or to practice what is necessary. A man filed a lawsuit claiming that another man's rice field was his property, but he lost. He was so disappointed and furious that he ordered his servants to go to reap the lawsuit opponent's rice. On their way to the rice paddy, the servants even harvested the rice from fields that had nothing to do with the trial. Someone blamed and asked, "There are other fields at issue. Why are you being so unreasonable?" The servants replied, "There is no legal reason to harvest a field that we are ordered to reap. As long as we have come to be unreasonable, it doesn't matter which fields we reap." I thought, what a peculiar logic. What is going on in the mind of a person who complains that he has nothing to do? You can be alone without any distractions. That's what makes you happiest. If you follow the rules or customs of the world, your mind will be drawn to the trivial matters, and you are easily led astray. If you associate with people, you try not to offend others, and you cannot say frankly what you think. You'll joke, argue, resent, and rejoice with others. Your feelings are constantly in a state of instability. The calculation of advantage will always occupy you, and you'll never be free from gain and loss. This way of life is nothing but delusion. It's like being confused and drunk, and dreaming while intoxicated. You spend your days always busy running around. It's like living in the days and forgetting the most important things. Everyone in the world is like this. Even if you have not yet reached the state of enlightenment, as long as you spend time away from the worldly concerns and keep your mind and body tranquil and relaxed, you can say that you are at least temporarily happy. Holding a brush makes you want to write something. Holding a musical instrument makes you want to play music. Holding a sake cup makes you want to drink alcoholic drinks, and holding a dice makes you feel like gambling. In this way, the mind is inspired by some stimulus. That is why you shouldn't indulge in improper amusement even for a moment. If you glance at one phrase of holy teachings at some point, you might read the words that precedes and follows. It might be the opportunity for you to realize your errors of many years. If you didn't open the text just then, you might never have that realization. Even though you lack all faith, by simply sitting in front of a Buddha image, holding prayer breath, and opening a holy text, you may be accumulating virtuous deeds. Phenomenon and essence are fundamentally one, even if the outward form doesn't conform to the truth. The inward realization will naturally develop. You should not deny this act as empty gesture, but rather you should respect and honor it. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.